Last one, Turkey said he wants to see AJ and Wilder this year. What do you think about that?
Good luck.
Who'd you back in there?
If Turkey wants to see it happen, it's happening. So
I want to see Joshua and Wilder now. If Tyson is not available, why not Joshua and Wilder?
Great fight.
And you're saying that, why would he walk away? You've got to understand, he goes into a fight with Deontay Wilder. It's a straight shootout. I'm not denying that, and it's a dangerous fight. But listen, mate, if he fucking lands first, which he's got every chance of doing, believe you me, he'll win.
If Deontay Wilder knocks out Anthony Joshua,
Yeah.
I don't think Joshua will want to fight again after that. I don't think he can build up back after that. If Wilder knocks out Anthony Joshua, I think that's the end of Anthony Joshua. I don't think he comes back from that.
Former WBC cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew believes that the Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fight is almost guaranteed, explaining that if Turki Alaşık is interested in the bout, it is only a matter of when and not if. Tony Bellew says that he cannot predict the outcome of a potential AJ versus Wilder fight, claiming that he does not know where both fighters are at this moment. Discussing the feasibility of this fight, Bellew claims that Turki has shown in recent times that he can persuade almost anyone and set up huge fights that would not have happened without his intervention. Therefore, he is hopeful that Turki will make the Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fight that everyone has been desiring for several years a reality. Tony commends Alaşık for his contribution to the sport of boxing, as he believes that Turki has brought boxing back to the summit of world sports and reclaimed it to its former glory.
You don't know where Ad's at. You don't know where Ad's at. So listen, if His Excellency wants to put that on, fair play, because I've said to you before, what he's done for boxing is huge. He's put us back at the top of the food chain. So His Excellency, Turki, thank you, because I'm the biggest fan of boxing you'll ever meet, and I genuinely don't know a person who understands the game and knows the game more than me. So I say to you, thank you, because you have put boxing single-handedly back where it belongs, at the top of the food chain. We've surpassed them all again.
Bellew also explains that he believes that Turki Alaşık will be able to convince Tyson Fury to come out of retirement and in the ring to fight in one of Turki's supercards. Tony points out that Fury has been the face of boxing for over a decade now, claiming that there is no one more popular and recognizable than Tyson in the world of boxing today. He compared Fury to the likes of the great Muhammad Ali and Iron Mike Tyson, explaining that Tyson's legacy was of that high a magnitude.
And the biggest face in the world, once again, soon enough, will be a boxer. We're nearly there, but the most popular face in the world, once again, just like it was when the legend and the king was here, Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, that is the face of sport. Like, there isn't a more well-known face right now in the sport than Mike Tyson.
Tony goes on to say that while Fury may be the biggest name in boxing today, Turki Alaşık's efforts will go a long way in making more fighters superstars. He acknowledged Turki's impact in making boxing a global product and claimed that there is no limit to where he takes boxing.
But His Excellency's rising the fights up again, where they're going to that level. And trust me, if it keeps going and going and going, and he keeps growing the sport the way he is, the sky's the limit.
World Boxing News sports writer Dan Rafael has reacted to the recent rumors surrounding the Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fight. He claims that while Turki Alaşık may be personally eyeing this fight to happen, he personally feels that the bout is a few years too late to the party. Rafael claims that both AJ and Wilder are well past their prime and following up from disappointing losses, which makes the bout less interesting than it previously was.
I mean, we already saw when it was worthwhile, like Wilder and Joshua go down the drain. Now I know Turki has been talking about maybe reviving that, you know, if he can't get if he can't get Joshua and Fury made. But even now, I mean, trying to put together Wilder and Joshua again, I mean, who gives a shit at this point?
Dan points out that in contrast to the lack of hype of Deontay versus Wilder, the British boxing audience will still love to see AJ take on the Gypsy King Tyson Fury. Though that fight may seem impossible now due to Tyson Fury's shock retirement announcement, Dan points out that Turki Alaşık should focus on convincing to bring Fury back for one last fight.
Fury and Joshua, I think there's still a lot of people that would give it. So, you know, let's focus on that. And Fury, you know, when he comes out of retirement, I hope you see that fight. I'm one of those people that, you know, I respect Tyson Fury's decision. If that's what he says, fine. But I think we're going to see him back in the ring like we've seen all the other times.
Saudi advisor and boxing promoter Turki Alalshik has been vocal about shifting the boxing culture toward the UFC model. He explains that fighters should be willing to fight the toughest opponents in the biggest fights despite losing a couple or more times. Turki's narrative seems to suit the likes of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, who are still huge names in the boxing world and still have entertaining fights to offer despite suffering recent losses.
I want to tell you, sir, and this is what bothered me in boxing in the last 10 years. After the Mayweather generation, all the fighters care about not losing in their career, and this is not right. You see the models of the UFC, the champions lose and win, and this is the normal.
In a recent TalkSport interview, Turki Alalshik expressed his interest in making an Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fight happen. Turki's interest in the AJ versus Wilder fight stemmed from Tyson Fury's shock decision to retire, since he and Eddie Hearn were in constant discussions to make AJ fight Fury. Alalshik is still adamant that the British audience will still find Wilder as a compelling opponent for Joshua should Fury's decision to retire be permanent.
If you want something about the British market, I want to see Joshua and Wilder now. If Tyson is not available, why not Joshua and Wilder?
Turki adds that he also personally wants to make a fight between Anthony Joshua and Martin Bakole happen, and declares Africa to be the eventual venue for the event. He says, "We finished the fight between Bakole and the Nigerian fighter Ajagba. After that, we want to see Joshua against Bakole. Me, I want to see this fight. Do you know where I want to see it? I want to see it in Africa." Anthony Joshua's boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has also discussed the prospect of an AJ versus Wilder fight following the comments of Turki Alalshik. While Hearn claims that he would like AJ to fight the likes of Tyson Fury or the winner of the Dubois versus Parker fight, the door remains open for AJ to fight against Wilder. Hearn claims that this bout has added jeopardy that will force the loser of the fight to retire, which makes it a more thrilling encounter.
I mean, I'm just giving you names that he could fight. It's not part of the plan, but you know, His Excellency said to me the other night, "I like Joshua Wilder," and I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, if Fury is retired and we don't fight the winner of Dubois Parker for some reason, I don't mind having a look at that fight. I think it's a compelling fight, because any fight where the loser's done, you know, is an interesting fight."
Hearn clarifies that since both Joshua and Deontay are facing a difficult period in their careers following losses, a win against each other would prove to be a chance to rekindle their careers. Eddie states AJ's stance and willingness to take the opportunity against Wilder should the opportunity arise.
Two huge punchers that, you know, are coming off defeats and need to resurrect their career in some respects. So, yeah, I mean, AJ would fight anyone.
There have been rumblings of a Deontay Wilder face-off against Anthony Joshua for a while now, and the negotiation turned hot and cold throughout the careers of both fighters. Wilder himself has addressed the rumors on several occasions, as he agreed with the sentiment that facing off against AJ would prove to be a mega-hit event. Deontay showed frustration in expressing why the fight had not happened yet, and acknowledged the complexity of negotiating terms with the opposing team.
The biggest fight in the world. It's been that way for a very long time, and it still is now. You know, that fight has been a situation where it's been hot and cold, you know, and every time the talks happen, it always get back hot, you know, and then somehow it'll die back down. You know, I know the how, but, you know, it'll die back down.
Wilder, however, explains that this is the closest both teams have been to getting a concrete answer. Despite the imminent success in setting up a fight with Joshua, Wilder still remains reluctant until a final verdict is reached and he actually steps into the ring against Joshua.
It don't happen, but now the moment has came where it's the closest that it's ever been in history right now. You know, the closest that it's ever been, and I'm excited to say that for that most part. I'm not 100% sure that it's gonna happen. You know, it's a lot of things that has went on, a lot of things that has been done, but you can't be 100% until that bell rings and that first punches been thrown.
Deontay Wilder has discussed the reasons why he was not able to fight Anthony Joshua till now, and has shifted the blame entirely to AJ and his promoter Eddie Hearn. Wilder claims that he was willing to offer the requested sum of $50 million to AJ and Hearn, and it was up to them to accept the offer or not. Wilder believes that Joshua has shown his willingness to fight him only on the face of it, but in reality, he believes that Anthony is not a man of his word, seemingly calling out AJ for ducking the fight.
You know, I just sent him and his, I just sent Eddie Hearn, which is his promoter, and Rob McCracken, which is his manager. I just sent them what they wanted.
What did they want?
They said they wanted 50 mil, so I gave it to them. So soon we'll see the fight.
Are you serious?
He got to be a man of it. He got to be a man of his word. If he ain't a man of his word, then.
Tony Bellew has been a great advocate of making Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder over the years. He had previously backed Wilder to end AJ's hot streak when Joshua was tearing up the entire heavyweight division. He says, "It's shameful that Deontay Wilder has fought 40 fights and boxed against different names. Well, the only man on the planet who can beat Anthony Joshua is Wilder. No one else has a chance." Tony also pointed out that Wilder will be an even better opponent for Anthony Joshua than AJ's most anticipated matchup, Tyson Fury. Bellew claimed that Fury did not possess the striking power needed to trouble Anthony in any way. He explained that Deontay Wilder's explosive knockout power and fighting style would have been the difference in a bout against AJ. Bellew says, "Not even Tyson Fury. Fights make styles. Does anyone think Joshua will have a hard time hitting Fury in a favorable position? Does anyone think Fury has the power to hurt Joshua? It is easy to predict the result of that duel." Deontay Wilder himself saw the same picture as Tony Bellew, explaining that he says only one outcome from the fight is Anthony Joshua getting knocked out. Wilder backs his explosive striking power and knockout ratio to reign supreme over AJ, explaining that Joshua will be like any other opponent who steps inside the ring with him.
I mean, you're gonna expect what you always expect, especially off of Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
And that's knockouts. You know what I mean? That's what I do. That's what I'm a master of.
Yeah.
Is knockouts. You know, I mean, 40 wins and 39 KOs. It speaks for itself. So I'm just ready to do what I gotta do.
At 39 years old, Wilder seems to be well past his prime, and following the epic trilogy losses against Tyson Fury, Deontay's career has not been the same since. Wilder's recent battles against Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker seem to tell the same tale, as Wilder looked like a washed-up fighter in the bouts. It can be argued that the counter-punching style of Zhang and the skillful and crafty technique of Parker were unfavorable matchups for Wilder, and as Tony Bellew suggested, Deontay may have an easier opponent stylistically in Anthony Joshua. Former British professional boxer Carl Froch had Tony Bellew on his podcast to discuss the implications of Anthony Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder. Froch mentions his desire for the match, explaining that he would love for AJ to prove him wrong and put on an aggressive performance against Deontay. Froch explains that to knock Wilder out, AJ will need to put together a serious combination of strikes and face Deontay head on.
Even if he knocks out Deontay Wilder, Carl.
Listen, if he knocks out Deontay Wilder, I'll be elated, and I'll be, and it's not like all egg on your face. I'm like, thank you. About time. Fucking hell, he's showed some gumption, and he's gone in there and some tenacity, and he's stood there and he's had an exchange with Deontay, and he's fucking caught him, and he's put a combination together. How amazing would that be? It makes the hair stand up on my arms and my neck. It makes me...
Froch added that getting a knockout win will help AJ reclaim his career from his slump and announce his comeback to the world. Carl suggests that if Joshua does pull out an impressive performance against Wilder, then the demand for a Tyson Fury fight would increase.
What would your opinion be of him then if he does knock him out?
Well, depending on how the fight went, if it was a one-punch knockout, then obviously you're saying he's a one-punch knockout man. But my opinion on him would be he's broke the curse. My opinion would be he's broke the curse. He's back. Right? Where's Tyson Fury? Let's get that fight on ASAP, because I think that fight's getting further and further away the longer Tyson Fury's out of the ring.
On the other hand, Froch believes that a knockout win for Wilder will have serious career implications for Anthony Joshua. He suggests that there would be no coming back for AJ after this loss, and Joshua would likely retire from boxing again.
And then what's your opinion if Deontay Wilder knocks him out?
If Deontay Wilder knocks out Anthony Joshua?
Yeah.
I don't think Joshua will want to fight again after that. I don't think he can build up back after that. If Wilder knocks out Anthony Joshua, I think that's the end of Anthony Joshua. I don't think he comes back from that.
Scottish boxer Nick Campbell suggests that Anthony Joshua is a ghost of his former self and claims that Joshua should retire. Nick believes that Joshua does not have a world title run in him and should avoid looking for major fights against Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Tony Bellew has been a long-time supporter of Anthony Joshua, has always rejected the notion that Joshua should retire, explaining that AJ still has a lot in the tank and is still one of the biggest boxers in world boxing. Tony claims that Joshua still has a significant draw, and it seems ridiculous to him that AJ should retire after a few losses.
A man who's probably one of the biggest names in world boxing should retire because what? Because he's lost a couple of points decisions to the best fighter in the world pound for pound right now. Well, second best after Terence Crawford. Insane comments, and you're saying that why would he walk away?
Bellew discussed that while a fight against Deontay Wilder could prove to be dangerous for Anthony Joshua, the match could go either way depending on who lands the first hit. Tony believes that this fight could go either way, and in such a close matchup, the winner will be the one who does not throw the towel in. Bellew adds that Joshua's name has a lot of money attached to it and therefore makes the fight a possible prospect.
You've got to understand, he goes into a fight with Deontay Wilder, it's a straight shootout. I'm not denying that, and it's a dangerous fight. But listen, mate, if he fucking lands first, which he's got every chance of doing, believe you me, he'll win. But at the same time, there's another side to that coin. If he doesn't land first, he's going as well. Why would a man going into a big fight like that want to throw the towel in? And then I haven't even mentioned money. For fuck's sake, this kid's on a different stratosphere to everyone bar Canelo when it comes to money.
Tony has strongly denied the claims that AJ is washed up following his recent losses. He explains that he has seen Joshua train day in and day out and knows that the reports surrounding AJ are far from the truth.
I've watched that kid in the gym, coming back from setbacks with the likes of Derek James. I've watched him, I've seen him train, I've stood alongside him. Far, far, far from washed up, far, far, far from the things that Thomas Hauser is reporting. I just think it's wrong, really.
On April 26th in Atlanta, Wilder will face journeyman Curtis Harper and is looking to regain some confidence. Considering Wilder's lackluster performance in the past 5 years, it's possible that the 36-year-old Harper could pull off an upset. Turkey hasn't said whether Wilder would still be considered for a fight with AJ if he loses to Harper, but such a defeat would likely rule him out. With just one win in his last 6 fights, Wilder's record speaks for itself. A loss to the veteran Harper would make it clear that Deontay is no longer a viable option for Joshua. Lead presenter for Daz in Boxing Aid Oladipo discussed Wilder's imminent return, explaining that he felt Deontay was ready to call it quits for his career. Aid says that the hopes for an Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fight have been growing dimer and dimer as the years have gone by. He points out that after Wilder and Joshua both got knocked out by Zhilei Zhang and Dubois respectively, the hype surrounding their bout seemed to die completely. But with Wilder seemingly still continuing to fight and their similar career trajectory, Anthony Joshua may be the perfect opponent to fight Deontay.
All right, let's talk AJ Wilder. Wow. I feel like I've not spoke about those two in the same sentence for about a year. Ever since Wilder got slept by Zhang, that conversation went away. Ever since AJ got slept by Dubois, that conversation really went away. Ever since I thought Wilder had retired, it went away. Wilder then put out this video announcing he's not retired and that he is still gonna fight. I was like, oh. Who's he going to fight, though? It's all well and good saying you're coming back, but who are you going to fight?
Deontay Wilder's boxing coach Malik Scott has expressed his opinion on why we have yet to see Deontay and AJ face off in the ring, explaining that despite his repeated efforts, negotiations with Joshua's team always fell through. In Scott's opinion, Wilder is a more interesting matchup for AJ than the much-anticipated Tyson Fury fight.
The summer of next year, like instead of Joshua Fury, if Joshua Wilder be able to make maybe first half of 25, that's more exciting to me than Joshua Fury.
Yeah, well, I was about to say to me too, but obviously I'm the head trainer, so I would say that. But not being a cliche, look at my previous interviews, I've always been very high and keen on Joshua and Deontay sharing the ring together. I still can't even fathom the fact that they haven't fought each other in this long time.
Following Turki Alalshik's interest in the pair fighting in his card, Malik is hopeful that Turki can help mediate an agreement between the two parties and give the fans the desired fight. Scott explains that it would be a disservice to the sport of boxing if two of the leading heavyweight competitors of this generation in AJ and Wilder did not fight each other.
Two dynamic heavyweights in our time, and now we're going into another time and they still haven't shared the ring with each other. That's the sad part about boxing, but at the same time, that's where you have to give Turkey his credit at, because I think if anybody has been willing to make the fight happen, and the strongest route has been him.
Scott takes some blame on his account, explaining that his client Wilder has unfortunately failed to reach certain prerequisites that make fighting AJ a worthwhile prospect. He pointed towards Deontay's recent slump in results, in addition to Joshua's win streak at the time. Malik believes that the timing of everything that occurred was off, which meant that the fight was put off for the moment.
But at the same time, the fighters got to do their part and win certain fights to make the fight happen. And unfortunately, we came up short at a time Joshua came up good. And that fight was supposed to happen, but we lost to Joseph Parker and Joshua beat Otto Wallin. So the way how things happen in boxing, like I always say, it's like a Z. Nothing is never parallel, so it's one of those things.
That was all for today. Do you agree with Tony Bellew that an Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fight is on the card? Let us know in the comments below, and for more news like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay notified whenever we drop a video.